you seen any issues with like supply chain as a contractor? Have you had any issues? Like a lot of people talk, I can't get that appliance, or the price of lumber is going up. Like, have you had to pivot or rethink your overall like material thinking, or is it pretty much just lower margins on certain things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have to basically be flexible on what's available as opposed to what you want. I mean, I don't know if that'll ever change. I mean, but that's a big change that's happened in the last couple of years, is that it's not about like what you want anymore. It's about like what is available. And I mean, I've noticed, just regular buying stuff off Amazon, it doesn't even come. It used to like anything would be like show up the next day. Now it's like, I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on that. And and of course building products is no different, so maybe instead of having 30 vanities in stock to choose from, maybe there's 5, and I got to have a vanity. I have to wash my hands. And, so I do think there's been a huge correction on the availability of stuff. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I feel like there was like too much stuff. So it's definitely slowed down in that aspect.
But lumber, everybody's talking about lumber. I know the price has corrected a little bit, but like, have you, for major materials, like, is there an alternative type of material you've like, or, a lot of people do like shipping container houses or whatever, the new fads, or like, is it just like whatever the most stable, most affordable material is at any stage? Is that kind of the way you're looking at it?
Yeah. So there's also another issue where, here in Maryland, you're not allowed to just use whatever material you want. You have to follow the rules of the land, and there's codes and that sort of thing. So I think a lot of that stuff that people see, like with a container house or whatever the case may be, I don't know if that meets any type of code, or I mean, is it windows, or is there egress windows on this thing? Is it hooked to a sewer system, or is it just stuck somewhere on a piece of land? Like, I'm not really sure about that stuff. I know, like, in my world, there are codes, and so you can't, you have to use what, 2x6s or 2x4s or whatever the plans call for. You can't just go use something that you think is sturdy that hasn't been engineered and tested and approved by some governing body. So it's always funny when people say, well, we'll just use, the side of an old car door or something to hold this up. It's like, I don't know if that's allowed, I think, to do that. I mean, it might work, practically work, I guess, and it's creative and artistic, but it's not legal to do that. So, so that's a challenge because you can't just do whatever you want, and so sometimes the stuff that's available in Home Depot meets no type of code, and the stuff that does meet the code, I guess, is on back order. Right? You can't get. So that is a challenge with, especially, like breakers, for example. You can't just use whatever breakers you want. You got to use the ones that you're allowed to use. But the ones you're not allowed to use seem to be available in the stores. I guess like they haven't sold them yet.
Yeah.